The first book I ever wrote, the first story I ever sat down and wrote, the one that inspired me to even start writing to begin with, was a ghost story. I love ghost stories. Growing up in New England, you are surrounded by them. I think I've only been in one house in my entire life that I've lived in that has not been haunted. From the time I was little, one of my elderly neighbors, I think I was about 4, was telling me the story of the man who lived in the house I grew up in, the family that lived there before my parents bought it, and how he attempted to shoot his wife in the room that later became my bedroom, and actually committed suicide in our kitchen. And then he would also explain things that were going on that I always noticed, but I just didn't think there was anything about it. So that got me interested in scary stories and ghost stories and anything like that. And then I decided I wanted to sit down and write one. How you're going to write a scary story is you got to figure out how you're going to set the mood. Now you can do it one of two ways. You can start out very deliberately. It was a dark and stormy night. If you watch the movie Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte, that whole thing is filmed in black and white. Lots of shadows and dark corners and everything else. And everybody is very ghostly in appearance. And, they're always popping out of things, out of rooms, out of hidden doorways, or suddenly showing up in the hallway, out of the dark, and they're, illuminated in these bright colors. Well, not bright, it's either black or white. But with that story, that movie, something's going to happen. Something is going to jump out at you. So you can start off your story with a very ominous feeling, and you just kind of build on that and build on that. You have them waiting at every turn of the page for something to jump out at them and go boo. And then they get so used to waiting that when you finally spring it on them, then you're going to have an impact. Or you can do it another way. You can start out with something really pastoral, relaxing, bright and shiny and, pleasant, like this fabulous summer day. And then you can very quickly bring something to their attention that changes it all. I once wrote a short story where this person was lying on their back, beautiful summer day, white fluffy clouds going through a blue sky, underneath an apple tree surrounded by wildflowers, their eyes reflecting the clouds going overhead. But they didn't notice a fly walking across the bridge of their nose. And I described that they would never notice it again because those weren't clouds that were reflected in their eyes. It was their eyes glazing over as they lay there dying. And then that set the story for a murder mystery. So to write a scary story is to get people to trigger their very primitive, primeval fight or flight reactions. And you can do that in a variety of ways. One, by letting them know something is going to happen, but you're never going to know when. Or making them think that it is really nice and sweet and fun and relaxing, and bang! It's not anymore. So those are at least the two methods that I like using. And see what you can come up with.